Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sam Battlefields. Thank you for joining me on my journey into the ecological dynamics and constraints-led approach for BJJ. This week is Leglock week. I've been sick, so Tuesday I actually took off. Today is Wednesday, as you probably already know, and we are doing a bit of Leglocks. Yay! I started playing, as I do every Leglock week, I started playing the Shakewell's Leglock, and, well, it didn't hit the audience like it normally does. So anyway, let's not worry about that. We started off with Quidditch today. Quidditch is basically a self-defense / grappling game, essentially that uses striking, so like a game of striking where we're trying to fully palm the shoulder and the torso. Shoulder gets 2 points, torso gets 1 point. If you block it in any way, shape, or form, then it is not a win, a point or 2 points. Furthermore, the reason why it's called Quidditch, and that's a joke name for it, but the reason why it's called Quidditch is essentially because the golden snitch ends the game, right? So it's first to 10, but if you get a grappling dominant advantage in stand-up, and that essentially means chest on back in any configuration with arms around the torso or arms around a leg, or basically, or chest on the back of a shoulder. So essentially anything that allows a grappler to be in a position to take someone down, that is a win. Right, so one of the things that came up from this is I've been implementing a kind of building to this by initially starting out doing a tippy-tap, just touch the person on the shoulder, that sort of thing. And so I've implemented further, expanded the constraints, I suppose is the best way to put it, and essentially through Brad, who's a long time, he's a blue belt, I've trained with him for a long time, and he kind of got thrown into the mix with all these caveats to the game, i.e., full palm on the shoulder, the golden snitch is, it goes behind, it's anything grappling related. So it was actually quite interesting to see him in the mix. He was breaking grips, just kept on breaking grips, which was interesting, and I'd like to delve into this further, but I'm not sure if I can't quite understand it yet, if that makes sense. So the game, the games became, and it's very representative of kind of like you're getting in close enough to try and get that, which also opens you up to, as they're going out, like someone grabbing that arm and trying to bring it in, you are blocking, it is very much play. So I watched a video by Jesse Enkamp today, who's like a karate guy that goes around sort of testing out different martial arts and everything. I do have a bit of respect for him. He does go out and try new things and put himself in a lot of different sort of shitty places that normally a karate guy probably wouldn't do, because they're too busy trying to convince everyone that their kata is going to help them help them survive a real life altercation. So I've got a lot of respect for him. And he did a video on why sparring is like hard sparring, like full on hard sparring, is on the way out with high level MMA guys and UFC guys, blah blah blah. And it was cool, and one of the quotes that came out of that, which I went and checked, because he's one of the most misquoted guys on the internet, but play is the highest form of research, and that was Mr. Albert Einstein. And one of the things that I see myself doing is I basically just structure play, and it's funny sort of seeing my 3-year-old at at daycare, and they're literally structuring play so that they learn the environment, and that's essentially what I'm doing, but for grappling. So it was interesting to see, because I worked with a couple of these guys before, and they knew what the game was, so there was a little bit more sort of commitment to it, but I really liked the outcome. As I said, the fact that it kept breaking away from the grips, maybe that's emergent behaviour. Maybe that's emergent behaviour. I would suggest it would be for a grappler. Knowing that if you can keep your distance, that you're probably not going to get attacked. But if we're looking at the perspective of it's a fight, is that going to be beneficial? Probably not. But again, like Brad's not necessarily training to fight. He's training, for a variety of reasons, but he might be training for self-defense. And he said, my best self-defense is running away. And it's like, yep, great on you. But that's great. And so keeping distance, all that kind of thing is, that is exactly what you should be doing. And someone tries to make connection, break connection, simple as that. So guard, because we did guard, close guard last week, I did a variation, so I added a little bit extra in that person on top was allowed to pass, or just get out of the guard altogether. So if they passed or got out of the guard altogether, then they win, right? This was pretty cool in that, and the person on the bottom was securing the top part of the arm, as per the games that have been played. Essentially, this is just opening up the constraints a little bit and allowing a couple of affordances, such as completely backing out or passing the guard. Whatever the case may be. Will had some really good insights on that, in that he was saying, it feels like it's a much more realistic if the person's also allowed to pass, and totally agree. It does feel more realistic when the person who is on top, torso on top, is allowed to pass, but that doesn't take away from the constraints of the previous week, where the person is not allowed to pass and they are just trying to defend, because what they are learning to defend is being pulled out of their base. They are learning to build posture back up. They are learning a whole range of different defensive aspects, and then obviously that, if you can get really good at defending and maintaining your posture, well then breaking the guard, passing the guard, releasing, getting yourself out of the guard is obviously going to be easier, right? And finally, we did just control. So what I speak about the top of the thighs being having a tabletop. Well, I didn't coin tabletop. I call it the thigh line, but tabletop's better. So if you've got a table, just a tabletop sitting on your thighs, that line that table is, no matter what configuration your knees are in. If someone's knee is on the side closest to you, closest to your torso, then you are in control of that, and you have opportunity for attacks on that leg. If their knee is below that line, they're getting out. You don't have as many. Well, you have to get that knee back to that line. It's the same principle with this part of your arm, right? You are looking to control the thigh, right, which is the top part of the body. And I'm just sort of putting that for tomorrow's lesson in the brain. So the purpose of this game, so it was single leg actually that we were looking at. I think what do they call it? Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. Sorry, single leg actually, or just single leg expert sitting down, whatever you want to call it, where your foot's underneath, in between their legs, it's underneath either butt cheek, and your knee is over one, and it's connected to your heel. Anyway, don't worry about that so much. It's basically the original ankle lock technique that you learn. It's that configuration essentially, right? And what I want the person on the who would be essentially attacking the leg is to keep that leg tight in there, and the knee above that thigh line, and the role of the person with their leg in that entanglement, their role was to get their knee below that thigh line and or outside of the two knees doubling close. And the emergent behaviour, and I was quite interested in this because it looked exactly like the escape that everyone's been taught from day one, except for these guys. Well, Brad would have, but he doesn't remember it, which is great for me because if I would suggest that he has, but Will reckons he hadn't, and the technique emerged anyway. So they had to disengage the foot, and then sit on that foot in order to not allow it to be re-engaged, and then once that happens, you can sort of get out of it, etc., etc. That was cool to see. I played around a little bit more just with the control. I know I can't really do that if they're attacking the leg, but ultimately, I think the issue that I have with my practice design is that I was too wishy-washy with it, and I think what I'll be doing tomorrow is I'll be taking every single thing in that Leglock drill that I did last year, that we put into play last year. I think I'll take that Leglock drill, and every single position in that Leglock drill, I'll try and get people to get rid of that knee line, and that's how I think I'll do it. I'm going to put a little bit more thought into that, but and just so you're aware, the drill that I put together, well, I didn't put it together, sorry, it was the drill. Essentially, it's just all the leg entanglements as positions, so not necessarily attacks, but as positions. So it's like single, cross ashy, double ashy, inside 50-50, game, like outside 50-50, game over. It's in a sequence that makes sense. However, it's a dead sequence, and so what I'll do tomorrow is make it an alive sequence. However, I'll skip back. It was the basis, because it was the basis of me creating all those other dead drills that I ended up I think helped immensely before I found the CLA approach. So. The CL approach, because otherwise it'd be the CL approach, the constraints-led approach. Don't worry about it, that's a freaking stupid joke, sorry guys. But yeah, I think what I'll do, the reason why I really like this drill was because it helped me so much in understanding where I was when I was in a Leglock situation. That was the biggest thing that I think, and it is the biggest thing that I think everyone gets afraid of, is that they don't understand the feeling of when they are in danger, when they're in control. This is one of the other sides of things. It's like, and I found this out for myself. I felt like, you sometimes grab something, you feel like you're in control, and then the other person grabs your leg and twists it, and you're fucked. I was actually talking to the young fellow, Gavin, who did that to me sometime at the start of last year, maybe even earlier than that, year before, where I saw a foot in front of me, and I started trying to toe hold it, and he just went, oh, that's alright. Like, he had zero concerns. This is a 16-year-old, or 17 now, but at the time, 16-year-old blue belt, and he kind of made fun of me and said in front of everyone, which, I'll get you, little bastard, but I was joking with him about this situation on the weekend, but he said, don't go for, I bet you're not going to go for something like that. I bet you're not going to go for something like that when you haven't got control of the other leg. And I was like, you little shit. And then I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, why did I go for something when I had no control? But what was really, really clear to me was I had no idea what fucking control meant in a Leglock game. And so learning these, even though it was dead patterns, I learnt the positions, and I learnt when I was in danger. And so I started playing with them. And that's, because I was playing with them, that's why I'm in the position I am now, where I actually kind of, to a degree, I'm not saying I'm like some guru or anything like that, but I understand now when I'm in a bit of danger, when I'm in a lot of danger, when I'm in no danger, but it can feel like you're in complete danger, but you're angling, just the way your body's angling, you're not in danger. So, I think what I'll do tomorrow, I'll do less, because I found as well that time got away from something savage this morning. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to have a bit more of a think, but what I will be doing is just going through most of these positions, I think, and just working out how to get below that tabletop thigh line. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this journey. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, I can see that there is thousands of you, thousands. Not really. You can see how many views I have, but I'm keen to have you along. If you've got any questions, guys, please stick it down in the comments. At the moment, like, you know, I've got almost 30 of you loyal subscribers, so I appreciate every single one of you. And if you do have questions, man, like, please put them in the comments. I've had some really good chats with people, and you know, I'd love to answer any of them where I can. Again, not an expert, but I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I really believe in it. So if you want to give me a comment in the comments below, that'd be awesome. Much love. Cheers.